Hi everyone, welcome back to Kavitha's Sugar and Spice. Today I'm going to show you how to make an Indo-Chinese dish with kingfish. Great combination with white rice or any kind of rotis. So let me show you how we make this. I'm using 750 grams of kingfish. I've cut it into cubes like this. You can use any fish with thick flesh and cut them into cubes like this. I've added 1 tablespoon of soy sauce and 1/4 teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of pepper. You don't have to add too much of salt because soy sauce already has salt and we'll be adding more salt later. So mix it well and keep it aside in a refrigerator for half an hour. Now it's more than half an hour. So I have a pan ready here to fry the fish. I'll be using the same pan to make the curry. So if you have a pan which is nice and wide and it has some depth, that will be perfect to make the gravy. You can fry it in the same dish and make the gravy in the same pan. So now the oil is nice and hot. I'm adding these fish pieces. I'm going to fry it, but you don't have to deep fry them. We are going to shallow fry it until it is golden brown. So again, I want to remind you, do not deep fry it because the flavor of the sauce will not get into the fish when we cook if you deep fry it. So now one side is ready. We are going to flip it. So this is how it should look. It's got a nice golden brown color. So let me flip all the pieces and cook the other side for another 5 minutes in a medium heat. Now our fish is ready. I'm going to transfer this from the frying pan and we'll be using the same oil to cook rest of our gravy. I'm going to move these fish to one side so that the oil will get strained from the fish. And if you don't want to use, if you think it's too much oil, you can transfer it into a bowl and use the oil as required. So now I have transferred the fish and this oil is nice and hot. I'm going to add 1 big green pepper or capsicum cut into these square pieces. I'm going to saute it for 2 minutes. That's more than enough. You don't have to cover and cook it or anything. As soon as it gets some blister on its skin, you can remove it from the oil. So again, we are going to use the same oil for rest of the cooking. I'm going to add 2 cups of chopped onions. I used a chopper to chop them. Saute them well and cover and cook it until it's nice and soft in a medium heat. Once our onions are ready, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon each of chopped ginger and garlic and saute it well. So when I started this YouTube channel, one of our family friend, Viji auntie, she requested for this recipe because she had it from my place and she loved it. So she had asked me if I could post this recipe, but it took so long for me to post this because I was waiting until I found nice fresh kingfish. Anyway, so I am posting this because she requested. Now our onions and ginger garlic mixture is well sauteed. I am going to push those mixture to the sides of the pan and make a well in the middle. I will add 1 teaspoon of oil to the middle. Then we are going to add 1 teaspoon of chili flakes to the oil and saute it for a few seconds. Once you think this is cooked well, we can add half a teaspoon of chili powder and saute it again until the raw smell goes. After a few seconds, we can combine the entire mixture and then we can cover and cook it for another 2 minutes. Remember, it should be in medium heat because we have used only very little oil. Make sure it doesn't burn. Once it's sauteed for 2 minutes, I'm going to add 1.5 tablespoons of tomato paste. Mix it well. If you don't have tomato paste, what you can do is you can put one big tomato in hot water, peel the skin, then squeeze it, make it into a paste, and then you can add 1 teaspoon of tomato ketchup along with that and use that. But if tomato paste is available, that will be much easier for you. Okay, so once that is mixed well, I am going to add 2 chicken cubes, so which is readily available in the market, and along with that I will be adding 1 cup of water, regular water. If you can either do this, otherwise you can add chicken stock. So if you are using chicken stock, use 1 cup of chicken stock. So if you are using these chicken cubes, when you're cooking, place it in a position where you can check it later if it's completely cooked or not. So I've kept it in the middle, that way I know if it's dissolved or not. Now we can cover and cook it for a few minutes. Now the gravy is almost ready. The cubes have dissolved. I checked that. Remember, these chicken cubes have added salt in it, so make sure you check the gravy before you add any more salt. At this point, I am going to add half a cup of chopped celery and cook it for like a minute or so. After that, we can add our fish pieces. Make sure you mix it gently and the gravy should cover all the pieces. So we are going to cover and cook it for another 5 minutes. This is a curry with a thick gravy, so you don't need too much water, but at this point I feel that if you cook it for another 5 minutes, it might get burnt because we don't have enough liquid in it. So I'm going to add half a cup of water. If you had used chicken stock, you can add half a cup of chicken stock. So it's up to you, your judgment. You can decide if you need more water or not. If you already have enough gravy, you don't have to follow this step. Now we can cover and cook it for 5 minutes. So this is how it looks after 5 minutes. It's bubbling. It's the gravy is nice and thick. It looks perfect. So I'm going to turn the stove off, and we are going to add our sautéed capsicum at this point. Mix it well, and we can add some chopped coriander leaves. If you are not planning to serve it immediately, you can do this, adding the capsicum and the coriander leaves later, just before you serve, because if it stays in the heat, the color might change. Check the salt and everything at this point, and as a final touch I am going to add 1 or 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, and now our curry is ready. Let me transfer this into a serving bowl. Like I said earlier, you can have it with white rice or any kind of rotis. Please try it and let me know your thoughts and comments. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.